Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Darrow here with another Options and Play video update. So, when it comes to earnings, there's kind of two things that I'm normally looking at. It's who are the companies reporting and who are the stocks that could move with those companies, right? Because when you have like a high-profile report during the week, not only will that stock often move, but a lot of the names that are closely correlated with it, right? So you always hear me talking about sympathy plays, closely correlated plays, right? And there's a reason because when it comes to option pricing, a stock that reports that week, the pricing is going to be higher, right? Because you have a huge catalyst, you have the earnings release, right? A stock that doesn't report that week, the option pricing might be a lot more modest. It might be a lot lower, right? So if you have two stocks that tend to move together, or if you have a group of stocks that tend to move together, one has a huge catalyst. Well, maybe that presents opportunities to make money on the ones that don't have that catalyst, right? Because if one of those stocks has a big move, odds are the other couple or the other group will kind of go along for the ride, right? So coming into the week, Palo Alto, top tier cybersecurity play. It rolled off its high just over the last couple weeks, but top name in what had been for the most part a pretty solid sector in software in general, but like especially within software, the cybersecurity plays they were acting pretty well, even though Palo Alto just rolled off its high. So when going into earnings on Monday after the close, Palo Alto, who trades with that? You could look at CrowdStrike, right? So the names are CrowdStrike, right, which you can see had a big pop. Who else trades with that? Okta, which you can see had a big pop, right? Um, Zscaler, you can see had a big pop. All right, so you can see that as a group, the cybersecurity names they're pretty closely correlated. So when you get like a huge beat by Palo Alto, dragged up a lot of other names along with it, right? So you didn't necessarily need to be involved with Palo Alto if you thought that the option pricing was too high, or maybe just not like a name that you really focus on very often. Just it comes down to recognizing that it's a top name within the group, top name in the sector, reporting, so it's going to have a pretty big impact. And if it ends up moving, well, it's going to end up probably impacting what's going on in like a CrowdStrike. So you could look at like a name like CRWD, look at a name like Zscaler, look at a name like Okta, all these names that didn't have earnings this week that ended up having huge moves in response to Palo Alto, right? So that's why like I've spent so much time talking about these sympathy plays, these closely correlated plays. It's because they can present a lot of good opportunities in the option market. You get sometimes very big moves when the option pricing is much more modest, right? So it's getting like the benefit of an earnings report without paying for the earnings report. And when it comes down to it, if you can keep the risk a lot lower and still get a pretty big reward, that's a positive in my book. All right. So we still have some earnings coming up. Kind of into like this weird end of the quarter stretch where it's like retail and some tech. So still plenty going on. So there might be some more opportunities for some of these sympathy plays coming up. All right. So if you like this video and you're looking for more information about trading earnings with options or these sympathy plays and how I approach them, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options and play. Hope you have a fantastic night. Stay well, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.